That's a real thrill for being a cinematographer, when you can go and shoot a movie in a completely different country and love every minute of it. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? To me, it's massive. It's everything. I mean, part of the fact that it's got to be a place that I want to go to. I mean, I love working in the studio, but I love being on location as well. It's got to be a place that inspires me. But obviously, you hope that it's inspired the director at the beginning of their process. So, The Damned United was shot in Leeds and Bradford and Wakefield and on the moors south of Manchester, and it was fabulously atmospheric. As the same as some of the films that I've done in London. They're just beautifully atmospheric, and if you get the right lighting conditions and the right weather and everything, it's just these amazing locations. Well, they don't have to be spectacular. They're just amazing. They have something about them that really helps your movie, and I think that I like to get involved as early as I possibly can in the choosing of the locations. I'd prefer that than have the locations chosen for me, unless of course the person choosing them has got amazing ideas, which sometimes happens. Normally a production designer would get hired before you, and then there's that, they have their conversation with the director, so it's not always. Sometimes you're presented with these locations, which I prefer not, but saying that, I've just done a movie where I was presented with the locations by the designer, and they were amazing. I couldn't have found those locations, and his entire design team were amazing. They blew me away. Every single set they designed, every single location they dressed, it just blew me away. So if that's the case, no problem. You choose them. Because you're always going to put your stamp on a location as a cinematographer in some way or another. My biggest experiences of shooting abroad was probably the 2 features I've done in India, so which is the most amazing country in the world. So I loved shooting in India, and I would go there in a heartbeat. So that's just takes you into a different world, especially in India. It is a different world. It's a different place, and you learn to accommodate what India is about. But it was pretty big for me because they double everything and triple everything, and they don't really think twice about it. Whether on the crew side, it's not easy to shoot on the streets in India, so you have to be very careful about that, because if you're not careful, it's just chaos. You can't get anything done. But the crews are generally very, very good. They have their own method of working, and there's a lot of them. I mean, the easy way to find out how many people are on your unit every day is by looking at the list of lunch, how many lunches are being provided. So normally on the first film I did was usually between 300 and 400 people every single day. In some respects, you feel like you're sitting there making Cleopatra with Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton in the old Hollywood system, because everything's like 400, 500, 600 people every single day. So, and sometimes you're just shooting tiny little scenes, but there'd still be 400 people. You wouldn't know where they were. They wouldn't all be in the same room, but they'd be there. So that's fascinating. But the country's fascinating. Everything's about it. And that's a real thrill for being a cinematographer, when you can go and shoot a movie in a completely different country and love every minute of it. It doesn't get any better than that, does it? That you'd be prepping in that country, so you'd be there, with the first film I did there, I was there for a couple of months, and then I came back for Christmas, and then went out and did the movie, and then we came back. So it depends on the film. It depends on the film. Anything between 4 and 6, 7 weeks. Okay. It gets to a point, if it gets too much, you just want to start shooting. Yeah. I enjoyed preparation very much, but after a while I just want to shoot. I get itchy feet and I want to start shooting, because I don't get judged on my preparation work. It's just something that helps me out. I get judged on the work I do on a film set. So.